Hey Cindy and Paul, this is Cheryl. I'll be doing the orientation on your 2021 Tab 400. Let's get started. Starting with your coupler, you're going to pull up the handle, push forward to lock it in place. Now you know you're fully seated and locked in when you can put your lock through this hole. Lift up and pull back to release. Your 7-way will connect to your vehicle. It'll associate with your turn signals and running lights. Now when you attach your chains to your vehicle, you do want to cross them. Notice these ID tags. Keep them with the unit somewhere. Some areas you may travel will ask for this to make sure you're within weight. Now, if ever your chains fail, this is your emergency breakaway switch. What it'll do, it'll pull this pin out this box, lock your brakes up so that it does not continue to roll. With your tongue jack, what you want to do is just crank up or crank down to level your unit. Behind there is going to be your propane container. When you're ready to replace or refill, simply remove the wing nut, remove this bolt, and then you're able to disconnect. Now your wheel can go onto your tongue jack foot if you wish. Now on the side of your frame, you'll see your VIN information on this sticker. You'll also see your VIN information on the side right here, as well as your tire pressures. So 50 PSI all the way around. This is your air conditioning unit. If you notice there's water leaking, it's just condensation. It is normal. Over here is going to be your dump station. So what you're going to do is remove this cap, insert your hose, make sure that this hook and notch are fully seated. And then what you're going to do is pull on the black valve first. It'll get rid of all your toilet water. Once that empties out the hose, push the valve back in and then open up the grate to get rid of the rest of your sink and shower water. Now over here, this is your stabilizer crank. What you're going to do is insert the socket like so and then wind down. Make sure when you're ready to travel, it's back in the up position. Now with your tires, you do want to make sure that you torque your lug nuts at 100 foot-pounds in a star pattern. These two panels right here are going to be refrigerator access. So if you're having any issues with your refrigerator, we'll come inside here and do some diagnostics. That right there is just going to be your radio antenna. Below your fridge panels is where your short cord will plug in. Insert, twist to the right to secure. Then you have this optional threaded nut for extra security. In this compartment is going to be all your water fills. So if you notice right here, this diagram, depending on what you're trying to do, you're going to follow the formation of these valves. So if you're dry camping, the white valve's going to be on the bottom, the blue's going to point to the left, and these two will point straight up. So I do have it in dry camping mode. This is going to be when you're using the water out of your fresh tank. Now if you want to use the city water, you'll follow this formation. If you want to fill your tank, this is going to be this formation. Once you fill your tank, then to pull out of there, you're going to go back to this formation. And then these are going to be winterized and sanitized. You do have a water pump switch, which needs to be turned on if you're using your freshwater tank. Your compartment light has 3 positions. The center is going to be off. Once you turn it all the way to the back portion, it's going to go into motion sensor mode. So it'll time out. Once you walk by, it'll come back again. And then this front position will allow the light to stay steady on. Now here is going to be your satellite and cable connections right here. And this right here is going to be your black tank flush. So basically you'll use this on a maintenance standpoint, insert your hose. Once you turn the water on, it'll go into your black tank and knock off any dry debris off of your sidewalls. You do have an exterior shower. This right here is just a quick connect. You'll pull the collar back to release and insert. Once you have it on, you'll turn the faucet on, and then you have a trigger for your hose. You also have different spray options. Just rotate the head. Now your low point drains are also located in here. If you ever need to winterize and empty out the water out of your unit, you'll rotate these valves and they'll dump on the bottom. Over here's your Aldi exhaust. So basically, this will produce some heat on the outside. Make sure nothing in front of it's gonna melt. Now located underneath your water station behind your tire is gonna be your freshwater tank drain. So if you're no longer using the water out of your fresh tank, you can empty out by rotating the valve. Now at the rear of your unit, if you look below, you'll see a quick connect for a propane connection for an exterior grill. You have a shutoff. When you're ready to pass gas through here, you'll just rotate the lever. Now, on this side of your unit, you'll see a compartment. It does have a magnetic holder. Now, this is where we've stored your shore power, and then I put your stabilizer crank in here. This snap pad is actually going to cover your air conditioning unit on the outside. Back there, you'll see a circuit breaker. That's associated with your battery. You also have a fuse in here. If anything goes haywire, you can check those, make sure it hasn't blown. If it has, just reset and then check the fuse. If it needs to be replaced, replace. On the inside wall, you'll see what they call your battery disconnect. As you're using your unit, keep that in the on position. Only time you really want to turn that off is if you're going into storage with no way of charging your batteries. You have a receptacle right by the entry door. To operate your step, what you're going to do is lift and push in. If you notice the light goes off, it's associated with this step. So when you pull out, it'll come back on. Fire extinguisher on your entry door. Privacy screen in your window. And then this will just hold your door in place. All right. Now underneath your propane container, you'll see your spare tire. You're going to use the same crank as your stabilizers to lower this assembly down. Now as we walk into your unit, you do have a sliding screen door. You'll just pull out and then push back in. In your dining area, you'll see your bag of manuals, so if you have any issues, you can refer to these. Inside your manual bag, though, this is going to be your filter. If ever you need to clean out or replace your filter, it's located underneath your dinette booth. Inside here, you'll slide it up and then stick the new filter inside. Now to transform your dinette into a bed, what you're going to do is you're going to take the leg, push this button up, and fold up the leg. Behind here are going to be tabs to release. You'll push down to release these tabs, lift up the table, set it on the bottom bracket, once it's seated in there, then you can take this cushion to make up the rest of your bed. Now above your dinette, you'll see a push button light. Press it to turn on, press it again to make it brighter, and then one more time to turn it off. Now both windows on each side of your dinette have a pull-up shade. Inside this compartment though, you'll see your Aldi fluid reservoir. So you want to make sure that that's in good standing. If ever you need to add any, you have 4 screws around the reservoir you'll pull out so that way you can refill it. Now inside here, you'll see your radio speakers. You have them on both sides. And then your smoke alarm is right above here. Underneath your dinette, you'll see your charging station as well as a receptacle, USB on here as well. Carbon monoxide LP detector. All right, on the inside wall by your entry door, you'll see the top panel is going to be your Aldi. This is going to operate the heat in your unit as well as the hot water. Your power button is right here on the left. This is your home screen. If you press the menu, these are the controls you're going to worry about. The top one is indicative of the heat inside your unit. Use the plus and minus arrows to adjust your temperature. The next one is going to be your hot water. Now both of those things use your electrical cord as well as propane. If you tone this down, you'll see 1 kilowatt as well as 2. So basically there's 2 electrical elements on your short cord to heat up your Aldi fluid to get hot water and heat in here. This one is just going to be your gas. The settings button will give you advanced settings where you can prioritize, change Celsius to Fahrenheit and things like that. Below there is going to be your air conditioning control. Again, your power button's on the left. You got to wake it up so you know you've woken it up when it's blue. As you toggle through the mode button, you'll see your furnace, heat pump, this is your fan, and then your air conditioning. Again, to adjust, you'll use the up and down arrows. Next to there is going to be your monitor panel. So starting on the bottom, the button on the bottom is your battery. So basically you'll look here to see how charged your battery are. And then above that is going to be your fresh water tank, your black tank, and then your gray tank. Don't worry, they're all full. We will dump your tanks before your unit arrives. Over here is your water pump switch again. Now you know it's on when the red light is illuminated. To turn it off, just switch the button. This right here is going to illuminate your porch light out of your entry door. Your sink light is underneath there, which will illuminate over here. And then your accent lights, which are going to be above your cabinet. Now on the ceiling up top here, this button is going to operate your light. So touch it once to turn it off. Touch it again. This will illuminate just the blue in the center. One more time, it'll do both lights. Now your vent fan up here, this is going to rotate your blades so you can push air down or push it out. Over here is going to be your lock. It'll lock your lid so nobody can operate it. Over here is going to be your fan speed. And then this is a 4 amp inline fuse. So if you're having any issues, you can remove this and replace it. Now if you notice, I have your fan setting at 3 to try to push out air. If you notice, it does not work. You must have the lid up in order for everything to operate. Once you have it up, you can adjust your fan speed. The center is going to just turn your fan off as well. And then you can press the opposite direction if you want to reverse the blades. If you like your settings, close the crank up and it'll stop your fan blades automatically. Your microwave is going to be used just like you would in your house. Underneath there, you have your GFCI outlet. So if any of your receptacles are not working, check here to see if it tripped. If it has, just reset. Your sink, you operate like so. Now make sure when you're traveling that the head is down as well as the handle, and then close your lid. Now this little booklet right here is going to help you operate or at least monitor your batteries. So this is your solar panel. What you're going to do, you monitor it through Bluetooth. So the app that you're looking to download is called this Victron Connect. I'm going to turn it on. Now you have to have your Bluetooth on. Once you do that, there goes your solar unit. It is also marked on the back side of your booklet so you know what device you're going to connect to. Once it shows up, you press. Underneath here, you'll see the default PIN code. It's going to be 0000. So that's what I'm going to type here. Once it connects, then all of your readings will show up. So you can see the status, where your voltage is, current, state, and then you also can see the history of what it's been doing as well as the trends. So that's how you'll monitor to see how your solar is working. Now to open up your windows, what you're going to do is rotate these handles. Open it up to how high you want it. Rotate the knobs to lock it in place. When you're ready to go, release the knobs. This window also has a secondary feature. If you notice the center slats right here, if you position the handles right there, it creates a little bit of ventilation. But when you're ready to travel, make sure it's actually sealed and locked in this position. Now all your windows like these will have a shade assembly. This right here is going to be your day shade. This is going to be your night shade. If you notice, they can work independently as well as in unison. You'll just clip them together. Now if you want to release, pull the clip towards you and then they'll detach. Now whenever you're trying to fire up your stove, what you're going to do is push in the knob, rotate to the light, and then strike the center button for it to ignite. Again, when you're ready to travel, this is glass. You want to make sure that it's back closed. Now in your refrigerator, your power button is right here. It is on. It will dim out to go to dim out the display. When I wake it back up, this first square will allow you to choose which option you want it to fire up. The A is going to be for auto mode. So right now it's defaulted to our electrical cord because it sees that we're plugged in. Once you unplug, it will shift to gas and then to battery. Now you can force it just to electrical. You can force it to battery. If you notice, the display is blinking with a wrench and a number. That means you have to have this switch in the on position for the battery to operate properly. So now you notice that the error code went away and now we're pulling off your battery. Toggle again and then we're going through your propane. This over here is going to be your temperature adjustment. Higher the bars, the colder it is. To open up your door, you'll pull up towards you on the latch, and then here's your fridge and freezer. Above your fridge is going to be where your radio is. The center button right here will turn it on.
Without grinding you down.
There's so many like simultaneous.
I have it on your FM mode right now. So right now your rear speakers are playing. If you notice this zone A and zone B, if I turn off zone A, speaker B is on. So that's actually playing on your bedroom speakers. Once I turn zone B off and turn A back on, that's going to operate your dinette speakers. Now you can have both zones on. I just do them independently so that way you know which zone operates what set of speakers. Now moving up on the top here are the rest of the features on this device. So here's your AM, FM. The next button is Bluetooth. If you wish to connect your phone for music, go to Bluetooth mode, then you have to press and hold. It'll give you 120 seconds to find this radio. The radio you're looking for is underneath here. It says JWM22. Once you find that device and connect, you're ready to play your music. And then you also have USB, HDMI, and auxiliary. There's your clock. And then these are just your volume and then your tuners. Press and hold to turn off. Now in your bathroom, you have a light switch located in here. This is going to operate your cabinet lights. Over here is a push button to illuminate the rest of your bathroom. Above over here is going to be another vent fan. The push button right here is going to operate your fan. And then if you wish to vent out, you just rotate the handle. Again, you have a pull-up screen in your toilet area. Inside this cabinet, you'll see your GFCI outlet. So you do have a secondary GFCI in case any of your receptacles are not working. To operate your toilet, you'll see the center pedal. Push all the way down to flush. If you wish to fill more water in the bowl, partially press the pedal. Now you do have a fold-up sink. Pull down, and then again, make sure your head and your handle are in this position to close. All right, now with your shower, this is the holster that your hose will sit in here. If you want to adjust the height, you'll release that lever and then slide up. Turn it back this way to keep it tight. And then this is going to turn your water off and on. All right, underneath your kitchen area, you'll see your breaker box and fuses. So if you're having any issues, just reset or replace. Now, this front window will allow you to see if any of your fuses are blown. It will illuminate a light in here, so that way you don't have to keep searching around for it. Now, on your countertop is going to be your television remote, and this is the remote for your radio. I'm going to leave it in this compartment. If you notice, I'll push the button to open up the door and then push it back in for travel mode. Now, to release your television, you're going to see this hook right here. You're going to press down on it, and then you're able to pivot and rotate your television. Now, every unit has to have an exit window. This is your exit window right here. You'll open it up to use as a regular window. If for some reason you cannot make it out the entry door for safety, you're going to literally open up the door and get out to safety. Inside over here, you'll see your inverter switch. So if you do not have a shore power connected, turn on the inverter and it will operate this receptacle. This is your light switch for your bedroom. And then to do these lights, you're going to press it one time, it'll illuminate one color. Press and hold again, it'll illuminate another color. All right, guys, so this concludes your tour on your 2021 NuCamp Tab 400. So if you guys have any questions, just give us a call.